Welcome to the Job Prickett house. It was built by a great-grandson of the original settling couple, Mr. and Mrs. Prickett Sr. Job lived in Victorian times, and he lived in the times leading up to our American Civil War. He was a farmer by profession. He was living in a log house that became rather tired and decided to build a fine new brick house for himself and his family. The bricks that you see in this house were made here on the farm from the clay of the farm. We believe they were also fired here. And the walls are solid brick walls. There's no wood frame. It's a very well built house. The back porch that you see was added on by a later generation, but the remainder of the house, for the most part, is original. A replacement door and window here and there. The Pricketts that lived here in the early 1900s added the back porch that you see. The well that's off the porch that you see protected by a wooden frame was perhaps hand dug by the original settlers in 1772, but we don't know for sure. The water in it is lovely and fresh and served this house. The room that we've entered is the kitchen of the house. It was not an add-on. It looks that way to some folks, but this was the original plan for an L-shaped house. That bed is a wonderful piece, has a number of names. There's a spool bed, a day bed, a cot, a Jenny Lind bed, but it was very modern for its time in the 1880s and 90s. It has springs, which would have made it very modern for its time. Job died in that bed in the kitchen he made with his own hands with his family around him. Most people kept something in the kitchen to lay down on because when you were sick, this was the best possible place to be nursed back to health. The fire is always going in the fireplace. It's a warm place, and the mother of the house is busy pretty much near this room all day long. Another feature in this room that belonged to the Pricketts is the butter bowl that sits on the dough box over here. It's for processing butter after it's churned to make it ready for the table. One of my favorite pieces in this house is this little piece right here, which, believe it or not, is a mousetrap. It would be for entertaining the children with that caught mouse until they lose interest in it, and then you can dispose of it as you see fit. But it's a rare piece, a wonderful little piece. The fireplace was where the cooking was done in this house until as late as the 1870s. Cook stoves were long invented, but they were heavy and expensive, and there was something that's still with humans about a hearth and a fire being the heart of where you live. So cooking was still being done then until about 1870. The fireplace was closed off by a later generation, and other changes made to the house. The room we're in now was Job's bedroom and an informal family sitting room as well. There are a couple of pieces in this room that belong to Job and his family. One of the rockers, some of the dishes belong to Job and his family when they lived here. The things that came back to the house came back generously from the descendants who inherited them when the house was being restored. The coverlet on the bed is hand-woven. 19th century hand-woven linen and wool. The one at the foot of the bed is 18th century. It's 100 years or more older. Also linen and wool, home-dyed, home-spun, home-woven. That would be fairly typical. The children slept upstairs in two big rooms that take up the entire second floor. Just two big rooms. No hallway. One room leads to the other. And the children would go up the almost spiral staircase to that room. Now, each of the rooms has a fireplace. Only the kitchen fireplace was designed to be wood burnings for cooking. The other fireplaces were heated by coal. Remember, this is the 19th century. The forest is pretty much gone by this time in this area, and coal is king. And so a great many families were heating with coal in coal-designed fireplaces. The front door is off of this room, the family front door. When we entered the kitchen, we were entering from the back door. The house faced what is now Pricketts Creek because that's where the road was that the family used to enter.